Hi there, it's day 12 of my dumbphone challenge with this 3210 4G, and that's my cat Boo. He's busy playing with my favorite Squishmallow. And just a brief update, I just realized that after 11, 12 days of being on this phone as my daily driver and going on YouTube for 1 hour to 1 hour and a half, today for the first time, I feel like there's nothing that I'm quite interested to watch on YouTube anymore. The algorithm is really good at giving me the same themed videos over and over again. And it's just constant news about the bad things that are going on in the world. And I doubt that much has changed in the past 3 decades of my existence, 3+ decades. World leaders making bad decisions for the masses, occasional good ones. And we're just too busy surviving. So, can you really blame people for just focusing on their bread and circuses and how most people's entire lives revolve around what they're gonna do, what they're gonna eat, the little luxuries that they can afford? He's really having a good time with my Squishmallow. It's different when you're the type of person that has enough power and influence to actually do something and make a difference. But I feel like having dependents changes that a bit, and having to have to be the breadwinner to maintain a job in order to keep your family fed and living paycheck to paycheck. That's enough to keep you busy for the rest of your life to make any meaningful change. As a side effect of this dumb phone challenge, I'm happy that YouTube is losing its addictive hold on me. I'm gonna be happy if I shed my compulsion to keep refreshing my YouTube feed the same way I did before with my Facebook and Instagram feeds. Because there was a time when I wasn't on YouTube all the time. But when I quit Instagram and Facebook, I just feel like YouTube replaced that. So if I successfully break my brain's need to be playing a YouTube video from what my algorithm recommends me, I'll reclaim more of my time and my intention because I have downloaded a lot of videos and audios onto my single use devices like my MP3 player, my ebook reader, and most especially the 32 gig SD card that can go into this 3210 4G. The adult in me is saying that I just need to focus on what I have set my mind to, like the courses that I bought when I was still a shopaholic, develop all the skills that I need to learn in order to survive most disasters that befall us as ordinary citizens in this society. But there's also going to be a part of me always that's going to want to be updated with what's going on and to know about current events. And I feel like I should probably even lessen my hours on YouTube. I already gave myself a 1 hour allowance and I've been sharing what I've been watching the previous days. But this time I should give myself the option to skip watching YouTube entirely and just watch the videos that I've downloaded onto my hard drive and my single use devices and listen to the MP3 files that I've painstakingly compiled, hoping that I'm going to watch and listen to all of them one day and learn all of these really fun or useful skills. I'm just glad that scrolling on my YouTube feed for 20 minutes, I didn't find anything compelling enough for me to watch. Other than food preservation tutorials and low budget cooking that don't count as entertainment anyway, they count as learning that I need to do in order to survive and keep my family alive on as low of a budget as possible. And I've been making a handful of these wrist straps. They're very handy. They're a very handy invention to give your hand a rest from always gripping your phone. And for me, what works is making it this small rather than the long ones that I see in the store. Because when my hand is passively hanging on my side like this, it doesn't easily fall out. And it's an extra security, of course. When I accidentally let go of my phone from my hand, then it's not gonna fall to the ground cracking. And I've made another one today. And I watched the last movie of The Hunger Games with my 2 children today, and one of them fell asleep on the couch because it was close to midnight when it was finishing. This morning we made some pan fried apple dumplings, which was just sliced apple coated in sugar and enclosed in a basic flour and water dough and then pan fried until it's golden brown. And I'm glad I was able to involve my two children this morning to help with breakfast. I'm starting to involve them more when I'm preparing meals in the kitchen, but I haven't done the laundry. Another chore for another day. I'm gonna tackle that tomorrow. But it's 26 past midnight, and I'm gonna call it a day. I'm just glad that, all in all, I didn't find anything compelling and addicting enough on my YouTube feed to watch. And I need to retrain myself on how to go back to the lessons that I have invested in and actually start learning what I set out to learn, especially because I spent the majority of my money in the past on lots of courses in order to acquire all of these new skills. But for starters, I'm glad that I'm using up my stock of beads, and I've been making several of these wrist straps so that I can swap them out depending on my mood and depending on the season. I have made a Christmas themed one, a Halloween themed one. And this is my Easter themed one because it was Easter Sunday just a few hours ago. And in addition to this, I've made one for a friend. So that's a start, doing something in my real world compared to my previous selves where I would spend the best parts of my day on my phone. So now that I'm entering the second half of my 21-day dumbphone challenge, I hope to be able to develop the habit of being online less in general, beyond social media addiction to overcoming news addiction on YouTube, and just focusing on what I can actually do to be useful, to be productive, to make a difference in my life and the lives of my immediate family members. Because even for these war torn countries that I often think about, these victims of unspeakable horrors from other human beings, if their safety needs were met, they will be doing what I have to do, which is cook and clean, those really sexy chores, raising their children, enjoying their free time in however way they can. And no matter how mundane and ordinary that sounds, that basically sums up the majority of human existence for most of the people on Earth. Of course, this excludes the celebrities, the rich and the powerful, the crowd that I'm never going to meet in this lifetime, nor do I want to. So that's that. This is days 11 or 12 of my dumb phone challenge. I don't know anymore. And if you're still here, thanks for listening, and I'll see you on another day.